Welcome back. You're tuned in to Bazaar Morning Call. Well, Ritu has been on top of the story with regard to RBL Bank, and now there's a fundraising as well that's due. So let's toss it across to Ritu, and she has Mr. Khara, who's joining in for a quick chat on what it could spell for the bank as well as the industry. Ritu, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Nigel, for that. And, good morning and welcome, Mr. Khara. Thanks for being with us here. This highly anticipated landmark deal between Emirates NBD and RBL Bank, we understand for a 60% stake is set to be announced very soon. First, sir, on the structure itself, given the two sacrosanct numbers, 26% cap on voting rights and 74% on FDI. How do you expect this deal to be structured? What kind of regulatory hurdles do you think it may encounter?
See, as far as the 26% voting right is concerned, it actually comes from the Banking Regulation Act. So I think when it comes to FDI, the intention is very clear that considering the country's growth ambition, the banking industry has a major role to play. And to really attract the capital, the FDI has been actually structured in a manner that we can invite more and more FDI. So that's how it is. And 26% voting rights as it is gives adequate control for the bank, for the foreign investor also, to really ensure that it actually pivots the way they would like it to really perform. So I think, to my mind, it actually balances the various conflicting considerations which can perhaps be seen from the outside world. But in reality, it can actually work very well to address both the concerns of the industry as well as of the economy and also of the foreign investors when they're looking for the larger markets in India.
Mr. Khara, we understand Emirates NBD is going to structure this deal through its wholly owned subsidiary in India. Does that make it a whole lot easier? Regulations are not very clear. If in the case of DBS and Lakshmi Vilas Bank, for instance, it was a 100% acquisition. Of course, there may be a glide path to bring it down to 74. Could we see something like that also? Or, what do current regulations tell you?
Well, actually, as far as RBI is concerned, they encourage, if at all, there could be locally incorporated subsidiary by these foreign banks. And that is something which was done by DBS. So if at all, I'm not really in the know about Emirates, how they are going to structure the deal. But nevertheless, if at all they have some such design in their mind, it might also work very well. And eventually that entity can also, at some later date, can merge into the bank as well. Or in fact, that can work well.
Well, Mr. Khara, also just, to step back and look at a broader picture of, a foreign bank. We've seen Yes Bank SMBC happen, where, of course, State Bank of India was also involved. And now Emirates NBD with RBL Bank. What does this tell you about the, changing regime itself? Are we seeing a new RBI? Are we likely to see, more foreign banks coming into India, especially in the mid-tier private sector banks?
Well, to my mind, this can become a reality because many of the foreign banks are looking at the potential which is available in the Indian market. And it actually works very well. And since Indian banks also would need the capital in the days to come, to support the growth ambitions of the economy, I would say that this can actually work very well.
To your mind, Mr. Khara, what are some of the mid-tier private banks where we may see some action, if I were to just put you on a spot?
Well, I think it would be difficult because when these foreign investors evaluate various entities, they look at multiple considerations. One, of course, the size, the business plan, etc., etc. So I think there are various considerations which will be subject to evaluation by these banks. It would be difficult to say that which all banks they might look at.
All right, Mr. Khara, thank you so much for joining in with these insights, and thank you, Ritu, for taking us through with that conversation. We wish you season's greetings as well, and we'll hope to connect with you if and when the deal is announced. As of now, 18th October is when, the board meet is scheduled for the fundraise. Let's see whether that gets announced on that day or not. With